Welcome back to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. We're out here in Joska as promised to look at the houses that Farson Gishohi, CEO Pacific Royalty Investments, has built. And we'll be able to walk inside these two houses right behind me, look at what's happening and find out what it entails to put up structures like this. So if you have a dream of becoming a homeowner, this right here is your segment. Follow me as we go in and find out what it entails to be a homeowner. So we are on site, and to meet us here is the CEO himself, Mr. Farson Gishohi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome to one of our projects at Joska.
So let's start from just looking at this place right here. This was flat ground before we started.
Yes.
Tulianzia wapi?
The first process of construction is depends with the type of soil that you set your house on. This house is set on a cotton-based soil variety. So what we did what we call excavation. We removed the topsoil of the cotton soil and we reach on the hard ground. So on this section is where we want to do the cabros. So we have done a hard course and the compaction. Awaiting once we fix the gate, we shall now be able to do the cabros. This aside, we have done a small room hardscaping. What we do for hardscaping as well, you cannot do hardscaping on a cotton soil. That's another thing customers need to know. You need to do red soil. So you buy the red soil from Kiambu County. Then you bring it here, and then you mix with some manure, and then that's why you have now this kind of green plants. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then from there,
From there now we go to the main entrance of the house.
Yes.
This is now where you see the center stage of this house. Then we design it. So we have the frontage, whereby we should have what we call an entry porch. From the entry porch, now we get into the house. People take you through from the sitting room, dining area, the kitchen, the guest bedroom, and then also not forgetting on the entrance we have a servant quarter. This servant quarter is now for either the guests or the workers that will be working in this area. So when you're building a house, there are some communities like where I come from. If your parents visit, they cannot sleep on the main house. So this is a setup for people who have those kind of customary engagement, whereby you have a house which is self-contained. It has a small kitchenette, it has a wardrobe, and then a toilet. This toilet also serves for the people who come outside here. There are some guests that you do not want to get into the house, so they can be able to use the guest toilet. Then now we can get into the house. We have a double door for the main entrance to give space. So this is the main entrance door, which has a double door, the biggest door and then a small door. So this opens, both of these opens. Now, what informed us to use this type of shower, what you call the solar heated shower, is because within this area we have salt water. The supply is from borehole, which is called what's called water. So for the same for this sink, we have used modern taps instead of using the 2 week taps. This tap comes as a mixture. It has a cold and hot section. So this one is the middle where you balance water. Then when you take this side, this is cold water. When you take this side, that's hot water. So the system for this setup of this house is solar heated water. Also in the main house, we have one bulb for each room as a solar lighting system. So from here we shall go upstairs to see what we
Okay.
So it's very important to have a big window on the staircase. Because if you have walked to some of the houses, you find that the staircase is a bit dark. You also need to give space for the staircase. The steps from one step to the other are equal to So we shall start with the master bedroom. So in most setups of our homes, what you need to consider is that the master bedroom should be facing on the front of the house. So you find people designing houses, the master bedroom is back there. And as the head of the family, you're supposed to be the first point of contact, just in case of anything. So this
to act as guard, you can see things.
This one is a spacious one with the setup where we have this is the lighting for the headboard. You put your bed here. This headboard we have done with a theme whereby you can have different colors depending on the mood of the night. The windows are large, and then also we have provided a wardrobe, what we call hazer cars, to avoid you see that issue of the women you have a lot of clothes. The big one
is definitely for the ladies.
And I know they take a part of this for them for the man. And then again also we have done it is an ensuite. So I can walk you through. You see the ensuite for this bedroom. This being the master bedroom, what we have done is we have created large space for the owner of the house.
Mhm.
So what we have done here, we have a toilet set, we have a sink, then we have a bathtub, where we can do a bathtub or a jacuzzi, and then we have a shower cubicle. So this one has an extra space for the jacuzzi, but then also the space is quite spacious. For the better feel of a bathroom, I will also advise you to do what you call wall-to-wall, because this is a wet area.
Yes.
So you do most houses they do up until 1.5, and you see there are people who are taller, there are people who are short. So when you splash water, it splashes to the paint work. So you keep on repeating on paint. So for you to do one job, just do wall to wall tiles, and also to be able to clean it well, because when you wipe it, the tiles are good, and then you have to the bathroom always stays clean. Another thing you need to consider, if you check on these tiles, they are rough. Unlike the ones that are these other rooms. So you need to check on what you call non-slippery tiles to make sure that the bathroom is not slippery. Because
So it doesn't become a hazard.
Yes,
I even noticed even the bathtub has got
yes, a drainage system.
a bit of the rough edges
Yes,
for.
sure. And then also this also mitigates the accident that you find in the bathroom.
Yes.
Actually, in this kind of house setup, the most dangerous place is not even the balcony; it is the bathrooms. That's where people get a lot of injuries. So from here we have a master bedroom balcony, which takes you the view of the living room, the view of the living. The balcony is quite spacious. So when you have your weekends, you want to relax, you want to read your newspaper,
Yes.
you want to watch your kids play outside, you want to see the way the landscape is taking shape, you want to see the neighborhood, you come here and you relax here. Then we have also done a big door with a lot of aeration of light to make sure that you see the places always, with a lot of light to avoid those dull moments when you open your bedroom and it's very dark. Another thing that people also need to embrace is when you want to do your house, don't do the old ways of having a bed switch. We don't do the bed switch.
Yeah.
They also have hazards.
Yes.
We have an incident whereby one that bed switch, going down to the bed. So the kid put it on the mouth. The kid was shocked to death. So, yeah. So what you need to do is you put a switch as venter and then a switch when you want to sleep. From here we have a study room, which can also be converted to when you have to have a moment of interaction with your family. So when the kids want to do their homework, they don't need interaction and everything. So we have done a working station and then storage area as well. If you want to be fasting, you want to pray and those things, you can
Can put a mat or something.
Yes, this room is also spacious enough to have a bed, and also even to have, if you have a lot of guests, you can drop a mattress here and people can sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. So from here, this house is what you call a flat roof. We shall go now up, where now the beauty of a flat roof is felt. That is called the rooftop now.
The rooftop.
We have the same setup of the lighting on the same staircase. You can see the lights that is coming in with the good gates. So we shall start with the big space. This is a rooftop, a space whereby you can host guests.
Yes.
You can do barbecue. You can do rounding. You can come and relax. So what you have done to cover part of it, we have done what you call a pergola. This pergola once done, is will have what you call a glass top. The glass top will be clear to allow light.
The light to come in.
Yes. So what people are praying with pergola, you can do plants, you can do flowers on top of it. So when you have a lot of guests, let's say it's on a weekend, Mama's chama, which is coming, and then maybe your boys are coming. So you can, you can decide.
You can sit up here.
Yeah, come here and do a barbecue. So what you have done on the same, we have done waterproofing on this floor, because mostly people fear flat roof because of waterproofing. So the waterproofing that we have done, we have also coated it with a terrazzo to make it feel nice. And then also we have checked on the levels. So if you can check this level, the water is draining to one point. Like we have a drainage system
going down that side.
At least to make sure that you don't have a lot of waters. Then on the same area, we have another set of rooftop area for the kids, which we are proposing to do what you call a baby pool for the kids when they come here. So this is the small rooftop. It's the backyard of the house, so you can be able to view.
Yes.
You can.
And you can see the countryside.
The counties, you can see Machakos, you can see Nairobi County and everywhere. So what you have also done, when you come up here, you need a sink, somewhere to wash your hands and everything. So we shall place a sink here, just to make sure that you don't go down there to clean your hands, to clean those sufurias and everything. And then also we have done sockets which are not yet completed, also to take care of like if you want to do barbecue using gas cookers, using electric, you can be able to do them here. On top of the house now is where we do the storage. This is one of the advantages for a flat roof as well. The tanks are for supply of water. They're done up here to give the whole house enough water. So we have enough water on the same. So you also need to consider the draining of water and the supply of water. So what we shall do, because the what you call the pressure will be minimal, so we shall do a pump that pumps water up here, and then now the water goes back to the house.
Right. So all this in under an eighth.
Yes, under an eighth. Yes, and we have a lot of space. Actually, you've been able to see we have a garden.
Yeah.
We have a garden behind there. We have a cloth washing area. I think you can see it
from up here.
So there's a lot of space. You can see there's a lot of space. Yeah, we have done what you call a digester, which is now a new technology instead of doing the septics. And then you can see we have done a small garden there for Skumawiki. So there's a lot of space when you play well with your space.
Please explain that technology.
Yes, the biodigestor is a system whereby instead of using the normal septic where you exhaust water, you work with experts. Like in my company, I have people who does that. Then you put some bacteria. Those bacteria have what you call enzymes. So they play with the what you call solid waste. So what happens to the biodigestor? You do two channels. One goes to the soak pit. The soak pit collects water from the kitchen, collects water from the bathroom. But then the toilet, the solid waste goes to the biodigestor. So you'll never exhaust at any given time. So after every 5 years, you put those chemicals, they work with enzymes and everything. So you never exhaust. And then it takes a lot of it takes small space rather than
a septic tank.
Septic tank.
Yeah.
Number two, it is also very good because you have had incidents whereby children open the manhole.
Yes. And fall in there.
Yeah. So this one, it has no what you call a health hazard. And then number three is it doesn't smell. You never hear
environmentally friendly.
Environmentally friendly. In instances whereby you do many units, you can be able to do what you call a reusable system. So the water that goes to the soak pit can be used to water the flowers and also to clean your room.
Okay. Yeah. So people who have thought about such things but don't know now, how to. What would you tell them? How to start?
You can do the houses even within 2 years. So you set your goals. Like I take a break of 5 months, I do the foundation. I'll take a break of 2 months, I do the wiring. I take another break of 2 months, I'll do the roofing. Then I'll take a break of 6 months, I come and do the finishes. So you can do it. It's very flexible. You can do it in a flexible way. Yeah.
Now, issues to do, like for example, electricity, water connections. We are here and we have even crossed into another county.
Yes.
How do you go about that?
I would say like in this county, this one is Mokoko or Machakos County. The county has not been able to supply water to everybody. So Kenyans are very enterprising. So there are people who have come with boreholes within a radius of every 3 kilometers. Like here, there is a constant supply of water from a borehole fender. So the challenge that we are having currently is Kenya Power, which has been having a lot of issues. So the process of applying Kenya Power is very simple. You walk into an office of Kenya Power, you take a form, you take your PIN, KRI PIN, you take your ID copy and a copy of your title, and then you draw for them a map. So once you do the application, after a week they call you, they come, they assess the area, they see where the power is. Like in our case here, we need like 5 poles. So they do costing for the 5 poles. They give us an invoice. Once we pay, now that's where now the rubber meets the road. Once you pay, their setup works in a way that you have now to push them to come to the state. So for Kenya Power, I would advise anybody that is applying power, you need time. Because you need to go to the offices, there's that back and forth. So once that is done, you get your meter and they connect power and you're done. So then you'll be paying, currently people are doing what you call prepaid meters.
So probably start early.
Yes, start early. Actually, I would advise when you start construction, start application of power.
Yeah. Let me just ask as possibly a final question because we are out of time. Can you replicate this anywhere someone has land? Or what happens when you go to other places like
what happens?
Kericho, Bomet,
we can replicate this to any area, and we can take the design to any area. What we need to do is first of all to understand your land topographical nature, whether it will fit. Number 2, we can capture the same design. If you want it increased, we can increase the design. We can increase the house without altering the design. So this design can be taken anywhere, any county, any place you can build it. If your land is, I would say, is accepted to put to the design, because land also depends a lot, as I've told you. So when you're buying land as well, you need also to check how is the plot demarcated. Is it a Is it a square? Is it a rectangular? Is it a trapezium? Is it a, there are very many designs of truncation of land. So you need to check on that. So once that is okay, you can replicate this in there. At the same cost. Actually, for our construction, let's say we are doing a house in the same house in Eldoret, the only fee that we earn is what we call mobilization fee, which is less than 200,000. So the price that we give you here is the price that we shall give you wherever you want to build. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Maybe as a parting shot, what would you tell the viewer who has just seen this for the first time?
I'll tell the viewers it is doable, it is achievable, and construction journey is something that people need to think about, also to take care of their families. And anybody who want to do construction, please follow the guidelines that are there. To work with the consultant, and then again also don't limit yourself because you don't have enough money. I always say that start with whatever you have and you can be able to achieve your dream. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate the walkabout.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Right, so that's 59 minutes for today. We set out to show you what it entails to build a house. We hope that you have learned something or at least been inspired to begin your own. From us at 59 minutes, we wish you the very best. Do have a lovely day and God bless you and see you soon.